Good evening.
Like
How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm just so excited to be here. Ready to do this, man.
Happy Monday.
Happy Monday to you.
That's right.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Did you have a good weekend?
Yeah.
Was it great not
was
not
good.
having me here to bug you Saturday?
Yes. Yes, it was great. That was awesome.
Did you have the radio just pumping?
Yes, of course. Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah. Just playing music and everything. Yeah.
Clean the bathroom.
Yeah, I cleaned the bathroom.
That was pretty exciting. Actually, today we started a little late today because I wanted to go through and just kind of do a little spring cleaning. Stuff piles up, you know? And then you just like, I need to get rid of some of this stuff. So we went through about 80%, maybe 70%.
I'm
We went through a
probably
lot.
like 10%.
No, we went through more than 10%.
No.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you kidding me? Don't be silly.
No.
Went through and just kind of threw away, cleaned up, put away. You know, you got to do that every now and then. Good evening, Bill.
What's up, Bill?
Mr. Freeman? How are you? How's everybody doing? I need a 2020 clean at my shop. Yeah, I mean, it was fun. It took us a couple hours to just kind of go through and, I mean, like I said, we didn't get totally done, but we got far enough along to where it was like, okay, we can stop for now, and we'll readdress it a little later this week. But it's definitely spring cleaning time. Oh, that place looks familiar. Yeah, Marty was just here. We got to see him hang out on Friday before we left. German Maestro USA is off the board. No, we're just, it'll be back. We were talking about that today. The reason why we took the German Maestro down is, as you can see, we have these two ground zero amplifiers up there, and they aren't going to be up there that long because we are going to be giving those away. We have to review them, put them in Fernando's car, play them, and then we're going to give them away, at which case the German Maestro will go back and all be well with the world. You also notice that we have some iData harnesses up here. So these are all the new iData harnesses that have just started shipping. One of the things that iData is doing different from moving forward is that when they come out with a radio replacement, they're coming out with an amplifier replacement, if possible, at the same time, which is great. So you'll get a R and an A. And in this case, we have the Mitsubishi. We have, which I can't see from back here.
What's up, Elias?
So we have Mitsubishi, we have Hyundai, we have Audi, and then we have Lincoln, and then we have the new case for the unit. So those are kind of cool. More to come. I talked to our friend there today, and we just went over a bunch of stuff, so that was pretty cool. We're pretty excited.
Yeah.
No, Keith, don't worry about it. They're more than likely going in Haley's car, because we were talking about that too, and we're just waiting to see what happens with the rest of this month before we decide. But I'm pretty sure they're going in Haley's car, because we did some modifications on her car when we did the last install, which really made it easier for us to lab up her car. So the next step is a full lab makeover, in which case I'm putting them in her car unless something else comes along. So that'd be cool. I do not have an S2000. I have a Mustang. It's convertible. It's not as cool as an S2000 though.
But you don't have an S2000.
I don't have an S2000. Before we get too deep into this, I want to take us really quick over to Facebook, where we can take a look at who won the 12-volt Clean Wire Club shot of the weekend.
Yeah.
And this kind of is going to segue into something that I want to talk to you guys about. And let's take a look first. And here we go. Do we know who this is?
We have Mr. Bullet13.
Bullet13.
That's right.
All right. Well, Encore is the brand, which I have never heard of, but it looks spectacular.
Yeah.
He's got some Stinger 4000s there. He's got nice power wire ferrule, different colors, saves the headache of heat shrink, so that looks really nice.
Yeah.
He did a very clean job. I like how he double stacked the crossovers in the back. So very nice, very good job. Let me look closer. All right, so yeah, he has the holes in the for the speaker wires to go down from the crossover.
So of course, if you go to the actually post, you will see the process that he did
Oh, he got a whole
mount the crossovers and all
nice.
that stuff. That was a great job, man. Yeah.
So there you go. So very nice job. And that kind of brings us to the next question we have for you guys. As you guys know, we have advertisers on the show that help pay for us to allow us to do what we do. So in this case, this portion of the show is going to be brought to you by our good friends at AudioControl, making good sound great. A lot of people are like, oh my gosh, AudioControl's just been bought by Amp, and well, I can tell you now that we just renewed our contract with them after the purchase, so we're super excited to be doing that.
Yeah.
As well as hopefully later this week, Alex is in town. We'll be meeting with him and Matthew and some of the Amp guys to discuss the future. We're really excited. Encore is owned by Powerbase.
I didn't know that. Thank you, man.
And that brings us to the point of this. Now, if you'd like to learn more about AudioControl, make sure to head over to audiocontrol.com, where you can find all the cool stuff that they make. Of course, we like to say at least one product to send you over there to look at. And with that, I will give you the Matrix. And we're not talking about the cool bullet die. Yeah, none of that. But the Matrix itself is a 6-channel line driver with AudioControl salt and pepper built into it that makes things sound great. A lot of the times you're going to be doing an install where you may need something that has more line voltage than the head unit that you have. Maybe you have an expensive head unit. Maybe it just kind of happened.
Mr. Mike Rios.
What's up, Mike? For those of you guys, Mike had the awesome Stinger that we got to look at last week, and you guys really enjoyed it, so thank you for that, and thank you, Mike, for giving me your time. Anyways, back to the Matrix. So if it's something you feel you need or you'd like to do, or just want to know more about it, head over to audiocontrol.com and check out the Matrix. Encore is from California, same company as Cadence. All right. Now, this brings us to an interesting point on something I wanted to bring up with you guys. Now, obviously, we don't know everything about every brand, because there again, never heard of Encore, and it's pretty neat. One of the things I was thinking about this weekend while I was doing family stuff, and naturally I had plenty of time to think because I was at Disney World and Disneyland, wherever. I was Disney World? I don't know. Magic Kingdom. Let's just call it what it is. And I came up with, hey, we don't have a lot of time, free time to spend looking up cool brands, but what do you guys think about if we take, let's say, a 10-minute segment here, and by your recommendation, we do kind of a deep dive, all of us together. We'll go to the website, we'll check it out, and see the brands, such as something like Encore, or anything else that you guys might recommend, and we just kind of go through it together, and it's just a new segment, maybe do it twice a month, something like that, where we can talk about brands that aren't the norm, such as like an AudioControl, or a Rockford, or a Kicker, and just kind of, we all learn as we go. Yeah. That's a thought, there again, just something I was thinking about that might be fun, because I always like digging into websites and finding new products and doing that kind of thing. And if you guys want to do it, now naturally we're going to ask you guys for the suggestions for the companies that you'd want us to look at, because some of you guys know a lot more about these smaller companies than we know, and that's great. And so this will bring all of us up to speed on that. So by all means, at any point during the show, if you have a brand that you'd love and you'd like us to take a look at, we're going to compile a list. I'll go back through this video and come up with all the suggestions you had. So if you're watching this live and you have a brand you'd like us to kind of go through and all of us kind of take a look at, just put it in the notes below. If you're watching this after the fact, comment there in the comment bar and we'll all go forth and have fun. So I don't know, I just thought that might be fun. It'll also help us, all of us, kind of expand and learn new things. So you might need to prep. Oh yeah, no, trust me, there'd be some prep. There'd be some prep. Wolfram. Yeah, okay. I mean, I'll take it, but
what's up, Paul?
Rice from New England in the house. Hey, what's up? And there's one that and there again, prime example of a product that we knew almost nothing about, and by hanging out with Ken, people like Paul, that have just, we learned all about the product with the help of them. So, and then we could share that with you. And yes, sometimes going into a website is a deep dive, and sometimes the websites just suck. Let's be honest. If you ever spent any time, no offense JBL, but if you've ever spent any time on their websites, It's a terrible website. It's so hard to find anything. They need their own dedicated 12-volt website. But yeah, so throw up the names. We'll go through them after the show. I'll write them down, and we'll just start picking maybe 2-3 a week, and we'll go through them. And we'll kind of narrow the focus, because I know, like, so for example, somebody put DS18 on there, and it's like they have a lot of stuff. So maybe we'll just pick a portion of some of these bigger companies, like even like MVX that has, you know, 1 million products. Maybe we'll just concentrate on something small in that lineup that is interesting.
So will you put, for example, Orion / amplifiers or Orion / speakers?
Well, I don't, for example, Orion really doesn't make a lot of products now. So it's probably fairly easy to go through, and then 10 minutes on a website is a pretty long time, believe it or not. So
it is a long time.
I think we can thumb through, whereas like MVX, you could be on that thing for days. So
yeah,
we'll just kind of go through it. So let us know. Keep them coming in the comments. If you want to wait till after the show, you can do that too. But we have a bunch of questions, or hopefully we'll get a bunch of questions. Yeah, okay. All right. So do you have any Bronco installs scheduled for the future? Actually, I think we do. I know I've quoted a couple of them out, but I don't get to look at the schedule until the day they show up. So, but when they do, don't worry, we'll let you know and we'll film it. You won't do 5-star karaoke and start singing Britney Spears. Hit me, baby, one more time.
And then you did this. Okay. Perfect. That is.
I mean, we could have done that when we were out at Go Fast, man. What the heck?
Dude, yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
We could have found a karaoke bar. I'd have totally been into that.
Well, we're at the bar, restaurant / bar.
Yeah, but I would have done. We could have done karaoke. Yeah. I mean, I don't know any songs. I would have butchered something. You know, why not? I mean,
I can see Elias dancing.
I have no idea what you're talking about. He just bearded. Okay, go on.
Yeah.
There you go. Any three-way components that can be ran off a key 180.4. Yes. Really the problem with that is just having the... Okay. The mid-range and the tweeter have to go on like channel 1 and 2. And the 6.5 would have to go on to 3 and 4. The problem is... Depending on, well, okay, so if you get a good mid-range that'll play like a 3.5, you'll probably be fine. And you just put a cap on the tweeter and you just let the mid-range, like if it's let it roll off naturally, or you use the passive crossover that comes with it. So I'm trying to think, like, because I know Kicker, like with their little snowman thing, the snowman could obviously run off of channel 1 and 2 of the key, and then 3 and 4 could go to mid bass. The problem is they don't really make a mid bass to pair up with it. I'm wondering if you could do like the 3-way, was it the Maximus set?
Maximus.
The Maximus set, and just use the 2.5 and the tweet off of the passive crossover, and just put the 6.5 off of that. But what you're going to do is you're going to pair up the 2.5 and the tweeter on the same channel. You just have to be careful, because if it's like a 2.5, you'll probably need a capacitor for the bottom of the 2.5. That's why I was thinking maybe something like a Maximus, and just use that passive crossover for the mid-range and the tweet. Okay.
Yeah. All right.
If you had a choice to run an A amp that is 2,000 watts RMS, either at 2 ohm or 2,000 watts at 4 ohm, which would you choose, and why would the bass be the same? Realistically, 2,000 watts is 2,000 watts is 2,000 watts. We know that's not true, so we're going to put a little limiter on this and say if we had the same amplifier, meaning built by a specific company, because when you start mixing brands, obviously, you know, Kicker makes, and I'll just use them for example, they have a couple different 500 watt amps. And they're all different, they all sound different, they all perform differently, they all have different features. So we know that not all 2,000 watts is the same, or all 500 watts is the same for that matter. Each amplifier puts their little salt and pepper on it to make it sound a little different, make it sound, you know, they sound it for themselves. So let's say we picked X brand, and X brand has a 2,000 watt amplifier at 2 ohm and a 2,000 watt amplifier at 4 ohm. Actually, I know a brand that does that, which is Sound Digital. So Sound Digital actually designs their amplifiers with different ohm loads intended. So if you're going to be running a 2 ohm or 1 ohm, you buy that version of the amplifier on the bigger amplifiers because they're totally different. Now, as far as the output configuration, but sound-wise, they sound identical. It's the same amplifier, it's just how they've wired it up and how they get to the ohm load. Technically, they should both draw the same amount of current. They should both be the same efficiency. Nothing should be different. It's only when you get like an amplifier that, let's say it's a 4,000 watt amp, but you're only going to run it at half its ohm load and get 2,000 watts. That's where things might start to get different. But there again, if it's really 2,000 watts, it's going to come down to the efficiency of the amplifier as whether the current draw will be different. So if in this example, if we're looking at like a brand like Sound Digital, which gives us the two options, it's the same amp. It's just the output configuration is set up for different ohm loads. Everything should be the same on the other side of that. If that made any sense. I don't know. Hope that helped. Okay. Can you send me a 5-star t-shirt? No.
Oh, wow.
No.
That was mean.
Didn't you say Dodge Chargers have less bass on the rear from the factory? When I'm using my DSR1, does it some front and rear? I wonder if I'm getting full bass to my subwoofer using the Maestro DSR1. Okay, good question. Now, if you're running Maestro, then you have nothing to worry about. So we'll just open with that so that you can take a break and cool. And the reason why is because Maestro actually only uses the factory 2-channel output on a premium system in a Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, whatever, like this thing right here. There's only a left and a right output. Balance and fader is done digitally. If you had a factory radio that was a branded stereo, then that is left and right only. If you have like this, which had a base model stereo, we take the DSR1 or an Amp Pro, it doesn't matter which one, and we reflash the radio to think it's that premium audio system, and it gives us the 2-channel output. Now, why does it not matter for you? The 2-channel output coming from the radio going into the Maestro DSR1 is full range. Ruler flat. If you take an IRTA2 and you put it to the output of said radio or output of your DSR1, put it to there, you'll see a nice flat pink noise play right across. Everything is good. There's no bass roll off. There's no high frequency roll off. It's perfectly fine. The fader is controlled through the DSR1 Maestro technology. Balance fader works, still works, does all that cool stuff. So you have nothing to worry about. Now, if you were to do, let's say, a high level to low level adapter, that's when the nightmare starts to come in, because that's the wrong solution for the application you're trying to do in that particular vehicle. There's no reason to use a high level to low level adapter when something like an Amp Pro or DSR1 exists, which will give us full frequency output, super sexy, super clean, all the frequencies that you want. Boom, just like that.
Boom.
Boom.
Just like that.
So I hope that answers that for you.
There you go, right here. Remember
Kenwood.
the three-way?
Yes.
So Jeff
Kenwood.
said Kenwood's 3.5
And the 6x9.
and the 6x9.
Yeah, that's the KFC 6903s. Might be a C in there somewhere. So the 6x9 is mid-bass. The 3.5 is a biampable 3.5 and tweeter. And yeah, that would work off of a kicker key super easy. So you could put, yeah, that would be special. Amp is an AudioControl D61200. Can you run the wire from the ACR3 parallel with the power wire? Also, thoughts on running the RCAs through the center of the car. I am 3 inches short running down the side. 3 inches short is a lot, man. Okay, so to answer your first question, yes, the ACR3 can run parallel with the power wire. We do it all the time, because it's way easier to go up. It always works out that way. As far as going up the center of the car, yeah, there again. Trust me, man, we've been there. We've been there where it's like, it's super tight. The other thing you can do too that we find is really nice is if you are coming up the side, instead of keep going and doing all this up in the dash, is cut it right at the, because where the seat bolts into the car. All right, so if this is the seat in the car, this area right here where the seats bolt down, there's usually a 2.5 inch piece of metal there that's a shelf. You can run your RCAs right tucked along inside of that and bring them up into the center console. There's usually some way to do that and then come up into the radio. So that's another way too of shaving off some of the distance between the trunk and the radio. However, because what happens is, so the name of the game is to end up in the dash with just enough RCA, meaning it's just enough to where you can plug everything in comfortably, no stress, no nothing. If you end up where you have like a ton of crap in the dash, well, that sucks too, because now you have bundles of RCA that you may have to zip tie up, or you have to, and you run the risk of it creating a loop of noise and fun and excitement. So sometimes coming all the way up the center console, if you had a longer RCA and you're only 3 inches short, now you find that you have like an extra 2 feet, and you're like, oh crap, well, better long than short. No, not with RCAs. You want them just the right length to accomplish the task. So that's a good place to make a turn and then come up, and then, if you can get that extra 3 inches that you need, perfect.
All right.
So I was reading the ad of No Soup for You.
Yeah, no soup for you, man.
Who has the best looking screen on high-end head units? Alpine, Kenwood, Sony, or Pioneer? Man, that's going to be a debate that I think we're going to see for a while. We've only just seen the Alpine high-res screen come out. We haven't had a lot of time to stare at it. Kenwood has a really nice screen because theirs is really good, and like my car is a convertible, but direct light where light is coming in and typically wash out the screen. They've done a lot of work to make that not the case. In my previous car, I noticed that. What's up, high five? I noticed that because I was coming back across the bridge here that we have, the Courtney Campbell, in the morning, and the sunlight was just beaming in through my car, and I could still see my screen, and I was like, oh crap, this is cool. This is the Camaro, not the Mustang. And it was pretty impressive. So I don't know. I think we're going to be looking at small things here as far as what the differences between the two are. I don't know if we're going to be like blown away.
Blown away, huh?
All right, so
hang on. Right
okay.
There.
Can you make a sleeveless 5-star hoodie or Smashfarce hoodie? No, because Teespring, or Spring as they're called now, doesn't offer that yet. If they do, though, I will definitely do that. I need to go back in and check some stuff out in there, so I will check to see if they offer that now, because in the summertime they changed the lineup a little bit. Like, they stopped making hoodies and they start making other things. So if there is an option for sleeveless, definitely will be adding a sleeveless for you. Hey, before we end it, we'd like to thank AudioControl again for sponsoring the show. Now we're going to take a quick break here for just a minute because we got a package in today, and we wanted to normally show you this on Instagram, but I saw this and I was like, no, I really want to kind of dive into this because it's really super cool, and I'm really excited that they did it. If you caught the Instagram show, we did talk about it. I'm not going to tease it anymore. Fernando's got the Fernando cam ready. Switch over here to camera 4. And what we're looking at is the third piece of the puzzle in the Jeep Wrangler Perfect Fit kit. So they make a dual amp installation, and that means that if you have a Jeep JL or a Gladiator 2020 and up or 2018 and up, and you're trying to figure out where to put these amplifiers, because in these new Jeeps, it's very, they don't give you a lot of room. They really kind of made it hard to find places to mount things. So Metra has decided to make all your lives a little bit easier, as in now they make the 6.5 pods. That's what they started with, and now they make the overhead pods. And now they're making something to mount your amplifier, but they've taken it to the extreme, as the song goes. And what you have is this piece here, which is a metal bracket. So this bracket is designed to mount up underneath the back of the seat. So that raise right there, that is the back of the seat. That would be if you're sitting in the rear seats looking forward, and then that angle comes down into the car. So that if you own a Jeep, you know that means the air vent's going to blow right on top of it, which is cool because it'll keep your amplifiers nice and cold. Now, it obviously comes with an instruction sheet. We'll talk about the physical size of it here in a minute, and we'll take a better look at that instruction sheet because they have it online. But it's a full amp install kit, and they make it for 2-channel, or meaning 2 amps, one underneath each seat, or just a mono sub amp. And they come with all the installation accessories. So as you can see, you get the ferrules, you get the wire covered in Tech Flex from start to finish. Like, they must have been watching a video of these guys that cover wire and Tech Flex. I don't know. You get the sub wire. You get a bracket for the fuse holder. You get the fuse holder. You get zip ties, a lot of zip ties. And all of this comes in the kit for either 1 amp or 2 amps. Now, obviously, you have to have an amp size that will fit. Let's come back over here for a second.
So, just real quick, for this specific...
hang on.
For this specific,
yes,
we have it right here. This is the model number.
The JP-18 amp 1 and the JP-18 amp-2. But if you head over to their website... Hang on, let me come over.
So 1, of course, is for 1 amplifier. 2, it's for 2.
If you head over to their website and you type in, right here where it says search by part, and you type in JP-, it's automatically going to pull up all the parts they make for Jeeps. And they make a ton of parts for Jeeps. These are all the LED light bars. They even have a grill.
Oh, wow, I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either.
Wow.
Brackets for fog lights, and then if you're looking for an older Jeep, they have all the lights and the tail lights and the third brake lights, and there are the speaker pods, and then the new overhead speaker pods, and there's some brake lights, relay harnesses. So they have a ton of stuff for Jeeps crazy, aside from just us, what we're thinking about the audio. If you click on, we'll click on the dash 1, and it's going to give you an idea of what everything is. Full install kit to add amplifier, subwoofer, 1 vehicle specific fuse holder, made to length, braided 4-gauge power, ground, 2-channel RCA, underseat bracket, all the necessary mounting installation hardware included, 3-year warranty. And then if you click on the instructions here is the size. So if you want to know if this will fit your amplifier, it is 11.5 wide by 7.5, and the reason why 11.5 is as far you can go is because the seat rails obviously get in the way, so that's as wide as you can go. I would use this today on our amplifier. I was kind of hoping I was going to get to, but our amplifier is way wider than that, which kind of stunk because I was really looking forward to using these to get them in there. So as you can see, an amplifier with the wiring that slopes down like this, so which a lot of them do, would be something you'd want to look at. You can tap your own screws into it if need be. Then they go through the process of showing you how to do the installation. If you'd like to follow their instructions, of course, they show you where to attach the fuse bracket to, all the bolts that you'll need to remove, how to detach the airbag, and of course be careful with doing that. They show you where they expect you to run the power wire, how to drill a hole through the grommet, how to remove all of the fun stuff. It's all here. It's all here to get to. And then, of course, if you're doing the 2-channel, they take you through this. They show you how to use the ferrules, how to hook up the RCAs. So it's a pretty in-depth idea. I'm pretty excited about this because most of the time you're going to have to buy a power kit anyways, and now you're getting the metal brackets all set up and ready to go. And you guys always ask about how do I get a bracket, how do I get this, and they're just doing it for you. So I would not recommend drilling it to put zip ties through, like if you're gonna like try to clean up. If you want to do a pretty board on top of it, would be what I'd look at. Maybe get some 1/8 inch ABS or some 1/8 inch Centra, and just cut it to length if you want to do all the zip ties and stuff like that, and then just attach it to the actual metal bracket, so you can use those existing holes like that. If you want to do a full, like, you know,
crazy build,
crazy Dean style clean wire club build.
But I like it. That's pretty cool, man.
No, it's nice. It's solid. Yeah.
Solid.
So
For sure.
congratulations, Metra, for coming out with some really cool stuff to make Jeeps even more sexy.
Yeah.
That's right. Back to the questions.
Back to the questions. All right, I got some few already queued up right here.
I was gonna say, where are you going? Single voice coil 1 ohm or 2 ohm for bass, which is better? Honestly, I don't think it really matters. It just comes down to, okay, it's like a chicken or the egg. If you're gonna buy the amplifier first,
which one was first?
Yeah, exactly. If you buy the amplifier first, you buy the subwoofer that matches up to give you the most power out of the amplifier, or the power that you need out of the amplifier. I won't say the most power. I want to say the power that you need out of the amplifier.
Be careful with that.
So, for example, now if the box comes first, like I ran into a situation today where the particular box that this customer wanted was loaded, and it comes at a 2 ohm load. The amplifier we're looking at is a 1 ohm max power output, and he's at 2 ohm. It was less power than we needed, so we actually went up to the next size amplifier, which there again at 2 ohm, it's going to give us the exact power we need to run those subwoofers. So, and we needed to go with these specific amplifiers for the system we were designing. So
there you go.
Hi guys, I'm running 2JL12 W7Ss in my 2015 Camaro. My question is it worth having a good pair of mid-bass speakers or stay with loudspeakers that I currently have? Basically, I will hear the mid-bass if I spend the money on a good pair of components. I don't know what volume you're playing it at, but my answer to this is if you're not playing it balls to the wall all day long, like just subs just cranked all the way, I find the type of system you're talking about where you just have louds in the doors very fatiguing and kind of boring, because it's just made to be played loud all the time. So when you're trying to play it at normal listening levels, you miss so much of the music. So if you're finding that being the case where you just wish there was more music to be had, then yes, invest in some really good components and that will solve that problem. If you're happy with what you have, leave it alone.
Just leave it alone. All right.
Would you recommend that Kenwood component 3-way set for a 2018 Camry with a key? Yes, I would. Is the Morel 602 V2 a good sounding component? Yes, it is.
Very good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Hey, while he's searching for the next question, if yours is there, he'll get to it.
So I have something that I'm gonna give away around like 45 minutes.
Oh, you are?
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
I wouldn't get too excited about that.
That's fine. I mean,
all right. Hold on, let me pull this up.
Yep.
We're at the half-hour point, so real quick, I'd just like to give a shout-out to this month's sponsor, which is Focal, and specifically the Auditor line. You can find it at focal-usa.com/line/auditor. Auditor is an affordable Focal speaker that is 100% Focal, and if you've never experienced Focal or you're thinking, I can't afford Focal, well, you're wrong. You can. Head over and check out the Auditor stuff, and if you'd like to see it in action, we just did a video in Haley's car where we took out the speaker she had, put some Auditor in there. We put in a subwoofer, an amplifier, along with components up front and coaxials in the back. Turned it out really nice, and she is enjoying it. She told me yesterday. I finally got to see her and ask her what she thought of it. So you can.
She like it?
She likes it.
Very cool.
She forgot where her subwoofer volume control was. Does the Maestro RR have enough amps to run 2 cameras? Also, my Kenwood DMX 1057XR has a positive and negative for camera. Can I use that for a camera, or does it have to be Kenwood camera? Thank you. There is a very specific camera that is intended to be used for. And no, you cannot use it for anything other than that camera. It's actually, it says cam. It's not power and ground for a cam. It's actually data wires to go to those cams, because the cam that they have is the one that gives you multiple angles, and those are the wires that talk to that camera to tell it to switch those angles. To answer the other part of the question, yes, the RR does have enough power to power up 2 cameras over the accessory line. Hey guys, just here for a minute while pumping gas.
There you go.
Thanks for stopping by.
Yeah.
Hello from Fontana, California. 2018 Focus with Sony system. Want to install a subwoofer. Would the pack AP4FD21 be the way to go. Anything else I would need? They actually have the Sub Pro too. So if you're planning on just doing subs and nothing else, check out the Sub Pro as opposed to the Amp Pro. If you're planning on adding amplifiers down the road, then stick with the Amp Pro. But no, other than a power kit and some RCAs, you should be good. Thoughts on speakers over the rear deck lid or under the rear deck lid? I mean, if we're just talking about speakers in the rear deck in general, I think that's probably one of the oldest, like, oh my gosh. Yeah, that's I don't know. I mean, over the last 30 years, I've probably put thousands of speakers in the rear deck and never had a problem. You would
from
think,
the inside?
well, from the inside or the outside, or just put speakers in the rear deck in general with subs beating the crap out of them. I don't think I've ever had an issue. I mean, I've never replaced the speaker because the subwoofer killed it. I don't know. That's kind of a weird one. It's car audio. We're never happy with what we have, Dean. Oh, 100%. Nobody ever is. It's okay though. Hey guys, what's the difference between the Pioneer
76?
Oh, nothing. Nothing. So they're basically the same radios. Pioneer did it. Okay. For those guys that are old, you might remember Pioneer Premier. Pioneer Premier was like a really high-end, we'll just say really high-end version of a Pioneer. And Pioneer America really got tired of people referring to it as Premier and not Pioneer. So they said, hey, we need to get rid of Premier. They blamed some other, like, it happened around 2006, 2007, so they kind of blamed it on, like, we're not going to be able to have enough business to support blah, blah, blah. Really what it turned out is they were just getting pissed that people were just calling Pioneer Premier. Anyways, so they've kind of brought back that, and they call it limited distribution. If you go onto their website, they call it like limited distribution now. And if you see limited distribution, usually that means that A, it comes with a remote control as opposed to doesn't come with a remote control, and B, you can only get it in Pioneer, true Pioneer dealers, meaning direct. People that buy direct from Pioneer have access to that piece, as opposed to, let's say, some dealers that buy through stocking rep firms or distribution centers where they're not going to have access to those brands. It gives us the ability to sell a different model number if we want to.
There you go.
Same product. I have a 17 Impala with a factory radio, Alpine X-Type 6x9 components, 6.5-inch R-Type coaxials in the rear, JL Audio 12s. How do I add loudness feature to factory system? I love this feature when I had an aftermarket head unit in a different vehicle. Man, I wish there was a way to do this. Okay, so there are a couple DSPs that have it. Off the top of my head, the one that I know of, just like I know it has it, is Helix. Helix makes a DSP that has loudness feature built into it. Not a simple thing like just on-off, but you can set up to where at different voltages it will give you loudness and whatnot. If you want to kind of get an idea of how that works, when we had Jason Digos in his BMW not too long ago, he talked about the feature because he doesn't like subwoofer volume controls, so he uses the loudness, we're calling it loudness feature built into the Helix DSP to control that and give him more impact and more treble at lower volumes. Then as it turns up, it goes away like loudness is supposed to. Good morning. How are you?
Alicia. Wow.
Yeah, I know. Far away. Far off land.
All right.
So those two wires are for the CMOS 302 cameras. Thanks for the answer. You're welcome. Yes, that's exactly what it's for. Buy the high-res camera. If you got to have a Kenwood camera, buy the high-res camera, especially on that radio. Trust me when I say this. As much as I love Kenwood, and please don't hate me for this, Kenwood, but don't buy the 302 on that high-res screen. You will be disappointed. Whereas the high-res camera, you will not be disappointed. Like, that is super sexy on that. And it has nothing to do with the camera. It just has to do with all the DSP feature that's built into it, like the whole top down and the side and all that. It adds a lot of distortion to the angle that just isn't pleasing to look at. And I'm extremely picky for stuff like that visually. Like if something's blurry, it just kind of bugs me. And it's not that it doesn't function the way it's supposed to. It 100% does. But on a high-res screen, the blur just kind of...
You want to get the best results.
And that high-res camera they make for those screens is fabulous. Make sure, though, if you do the high-res cameras, that you go into the camera setup and select the high-res camera. Otherwise, you're just going to have a black screen.
All right, so what other small amplifiers do you recommend other than the kicker key?
Ooh, PBR 400.4, AudioControl, ACM 4.300, Sound Digital 800.4.
Now, none of these have a DSP.
So if you need DSP, then you can look at. They're getting nothing in the price point of a key. There's going to be nothing in the price point of a key.
Small.
However, you could look at. Some of you guys like this. So the problem with the key is that the key auto sets itself, meaning it does all the magic for you. Some people love that, and some people don't. If you're looking for something that has similar power, but it's there again, a little less power, but the trade-off is full DSP control. You have this guy right here, which has a full DSP on the back, and this is the, oh god, that's a whole bunch of part numbers. Let's just say go to infinity.com, you know, type in Infinity Car Audio, and check out this 4-channel DSP. If you're looking, that is the part number right there. Yeah, it's a 4425 with a bunch of letters in front of it. INFDSP4425. It's a 4-channel DSP, fully controllable. So that's really cool. That's going to be still going to be more. If you want to go full crazy, like you want to go like a total top end, you can check out like an Atamo from Moscone. You could check out.
What about the Forza?
No, they do make a 4-channel Forza. Well, not a 4-channel. They make a 4-channel Prima.
The Prima.
They make a 4-channel. There again, nothing in the price point. This is going to be the closest price point to that kicker key.
All right, that's it. Oh, my bad. Sorry.
Ground Zero amp giveaway still happening. Yes, that's them right there. We talked about it kind of at the beginning of the show. So, yeah,
Still happening.
Man. Dean, are you old enough to remember having to use soldering irons to bridge those old 3-piece Zapco amps? I'm old enough, yes. However, back then, the brand that our brand of choice was Orion, so we didn't have to do that. So I got to miss out on a lot of that nonsense. Yeah, but no, I am old enough, unfortunately. But you can be older and win. I don't care. Alpine shallow mounts. Great info on the video. Expected when they will be available. A lot of that Alpine stuff is going to be like second, third, fourth quarter. So we got a long way to go before we're going to see a lot of that stuff. And I know a couple of the comments on the video, like, we need more information on this and that and all this other crazy stuff. It wasn't made to be that type of video. These were literally just... the stuff was sitting on. Most of the stuff you guys saw in that video were all prototype. I mean, some of that stuff didn't even work. All right, like the box for the new shallow mount that you're talking about with the 4-inch voice coil. That box, that's not even the box that's going to ship. That was literally a prototype box that they put together just to test fit. The box that they're going to ship it in is actually going to be a little bigger, a little deeper, because they didn't like the way that one sounded. So... yeah, and it was funny too, because like a lot of those radios that were there, those were the only versions of those radios that existed. They weren't even like ready for prime time. The operating system on there wasn't real deep. These were like betas, 100% betas. It was just nice enough that they brought them out to the show and let us check them out. All right, what do you got going on here?
All right, guys.
Well, so, hold on. Slow down, Killer. You gotta shut this off. You're getting all ahead of yourself.
You're right there.
You're mental. All right, here you go.
There you go, guys. So we have a box. This is probably the last box that Dean built.
It is the last box.
It's the last one, right? Yeah. So
this was supposed to be for the Camaro.
That one for the Camaro. So we're cleaning and he decides that he want to throw it away. And I say, you know what? Probably somebody will be happy if he have one of these. So if you are local, you can come and pick it up. First come, first serve. That's it.
I wanted to throw it away. I'm not gonna lie, I wanted to throw it away. We're not going to ship it anywhere. We won't take payment to ship it anywhere. Fernando's like, if somebody's local and they want it, they can come by and get it. Otherwise, I'm throwing it in the trash. I know. But yeah, that was the reason why it's shaped the way it is. It was designed to sit in the Camaro. There's a lip in the back of the Camaro, and this was going to sit up on it and then rivet into place so that the plastic mat that's in the back of the Camaro could stay there. So... yeah. Yeah,
that's right. This for 210 shallows.
Yes.
Yep.
Yep. That was going to be the Camaro sub box. We built it. We shot a video on it. Believe it or not. And yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. That's it.
So good for you, man. Dean, you weren't impressed with the Alpine demo. Your face showed it. Okay, let's talk about that for a minute because there was a lot of people that commented on that. All right. If you guys follow us and you follow us at KnowledgeFest, basically here's what happens, and we should just really just do a day in the life of us at KnowledgeFest. Like I feel like no one would want to be in it or find any fun in watching it. Here's how KnowledgeFest goes. We get there. The first night is usually a Thursday or Friday, usually Thursday, and we stay up till about 2:30, 3 in the morning, hanging out with everybody, having a good time.
Yeah.
We get up about 6 o'clock. And the day starts 6:30 at the latest, and usually I'm meeting people on the show floor, meaning we get access into there to film cars. So that morning we got up. It was the first morning, so it was Friday morning, and yes, the car I'd heard previous to that was the F1 status Tesla that I had gotten up at 8 o'clock. Or no, we got there about 8:30. 9 o'clock is 9:30, somewhere in that range is when Steve Brown showed up to give us the tour of that.
Yep.
Once we got done with that, we ran over and talked to Eric. So we were already we were already running and gunning, and it was still below like 10 o'clock. I mean, and we had 3 hours of sleep the night before. We had 3 hours of sleep. So not to make any excuses. But yes, if I look less impressed, I was also trying to keep track of everything that we were talking about because we had just talked about so much stuff. In my mind, I'm thinking through everything to make sure that we got all the footage we needed. And sometimes, yes, when I put the camera on me, I look less than impressed because I'm either A, not impressed, or B, I'm just thinking of other stuff and I'm at my RBF going on. So
all right, so actually High Five Vegas say... long story short, name was tired.
Yes.
That's right.
Now, to comment more on that, it had two 8-inch subwoofers in there. I'm not a big fan of two 8-inch subwoofers. I personally would like to have two 10s. And so two shallow mount 8-inch woofers, really, I want more impact in that. I know a lot of people are going to like this box because it looks sexy, it's small, it's compact, and it looks good. But I was kind of disappointed because I thought it was going to be two 10s and it turned out to be two 8s, which kind of took me off guard. It's like, why aren't we doing two 10s? But no, the mids and highs, new R-type speakers sounded fabulous.
You're awesome. But,
I mean, hey, listen, at the end of the day, we try to do the best job we can. That video with Alpine, there were some people in there that, didn't really leave nice comments, and I can totally understand that. And, hey, we're going to get that no matter what. And we just do the best job we can. At the end of the day, we just do the best job we can. If some people don't like the show anymore, hey, it's okay. Things change, things move on. I totally get it. No harm, no foul. Okay, moving on.
That's right. All right. Hang on. I was trying to see this one right here.
Best type of amps for hybrid or plug-in hybrid vehicles. Really, what you want to look at is something that is very efficient and small. If you're trying to be, if you don't want to add extra batteries and that whole nightmare and stuff like that, look into smaller amplifiers that put out bigger power. So one of the reasons why we wanted to bring MSC into the fold, which is Brax, Helix, and Match was for the Helix and the Match side of things. Brax is cool, like they're you know, that's like next level stuff. But what we were looking at more is Helix and Brax because Helix and Match, because those two amplifiers are very future forward thinking amplifiers. The Match amplifiers are these tiny little things that are super efficient and put out a ton of power. Like we have this new 5-channel amp that dude, it's smaller than my phone, and it does like 200 watts for the sub and it's 70 by 4 for the mids and highs. It's not going to put any stress on anything. It'll work in stop start. So that was why we picked up those brands, because yes, we would all like 120 watts by whatever in our car, but the reality is that some of these cars is getting harder and harder to do that. I had a guy come in today that wanted all his stop start capability. He didn't want to take up any room. I was trying to get it, you know, but keep in mind, the smaller the amplifier, the more technically advanced the amplifier is, the more expensive it is going to be. So when some of these price tags come out, and you're like, holy Jesus, man, understand that you're paying for that technology, and that is not something you're going to find online from one of those guys. I need to see a day in the life of Paul. Yeah, you'd probably fall asleep. You're welcome, Ada. Thank you for all you do. You guys are great, and we love y'all for all of us. Those events are very intense to keep up with. I don't know how you guys do it. You're not the only one. Trust me, you're not the only one. I mean,
yeah.
What did you see how many miles you walked at Go Fast?
No.
I walked. Dude, keep in mind we were at Go Fast, and
thank you, Jason.
That day, 5 or 6 miles.
I mean, dude, it's just like...
Dude, it's a circle!
Yeah.
5 or 6 miles. I'm like, where did we go? We didn't go anywhere.
And like they say, dude, I don't know. It's just like waking up in the morning, go around, start, and then come back in the same place, and then let's go again. I don't know. We're insane.
All right. Thank you
gracias,
so much.
Jose.
All right, what was that next one? Yeah, go ahead. How big of a mid-range could you put in the dash of a Tahoe? Little Fab Work was thinking of the
MLK 700.3. I think the MLT.
So I think that's the little. That might either be the 4-inch.
ML.
Yeah. MLK 700.3.
700.3.
I think a 3-inch is as big as you're gonna get.
Hertz.
Well, that's the 703 is the big mid bass. I mean, we're talking one of the new ones, because on those new ones, there's not a lot of room. There's not a lot of room. You're never going to get that 703 in there.
I mean, a little bit of work, yeah.
I mean, you take the dash out of the car, you could probably get it in there.
Yeah.
But it's 3.5 is usually as big as you're going to get. 4 would be really pushing it. A 7-inch, I mean, it'd be fun. I'm not saying you couldn't do it. Challenge accepted. No.
There you go.
What is the best 6.5 component set? You want to know the best 6.5 components?
Which ones?
I'll tell you, it may not be the best, but damn near.
Ooh, be careful with the router bit.
It's okay. It's off. It's not gonna. You need some of these, baby. Yeah, JBL Arena X. That's your best pair of 6.5s right there. Those are just the best pair I have here right now.
Right now.
But at $5,000 a pair, that's not bad.
That's not bad. Ooh, look at that. Coming in hot.
3 and a tweet. Yep, that's the Chevy right there. 3 and a tweet. What's up, Jason? How you doing, Mr. Cook?
All right.
Columbus Car Audio. Boom.
Columbus Car Audio, yeah.
If you're up in Columbus, go see Jason. Just call him Jay.
Jason.
What's up, Jay Cook?
What's up, Jay?
I still will never forget the rainbows. The factory deck at the infotainment system, similar to other factory units as far as power output. Just curious about how much aftermarket speakers can get from it. Well, okay, so basically the question is, factory power, what can I do with my factory power? Depends. So for example, base model Jeep right here. 4 ohm speakers all the way around, sounds like dog crap. Take out the 3.5 and put like a set of Kenwood C3s in there, which is their 3.5. Night and day difference. 100% better, louder, more dynamic, sounds fabulous. Okay, we can immediately do that and it'll sound better. Now, some cars have a 2 ohm speaker in there. And you're like, hey, so now you need to look at something like an efficient 2 ohm speaker or a 3.3 ohm speaker. That's where like JBL, Infinity, as well as Blam, which is your exotic French brand, is going to come into play, because those speakers will keep the ohm load where they need to be in order for you to change out and use those factory things. Sometimes when you have a 2 ohm speaker in the system and you switch out to a 4 ohm speaker, if you do an efficient 4 ohm speaker, which would be more of your cheaper 4 ohm speakers, those will sometimes sound great because the efficiency is offsetting the ohm load difference. But yes, you can use factory with sometimes better speakers and get a good result. Now, if you're talking premium audio systems, well, it goes out the door. Just forget it. You know, if you got a Dre or a Beats or Mark or whoever system in, Bose, then no, you're not changing just the speakers and make it sound better. You got to start from scratch.
All right, I got a Helix DSP3. Would you recommend the AudioFrog mic or the AudioControl mic?
It comes down to your level of how intense you want to get with the software. If you've read everything Andy's wrote about the UMI-1 and understand it, and you're willing to use your laptop using the software that he recommends in order to do it, then that is definitely the cheaper option. If you're like, I don't get any of that, then spend the extra money, get the DMRTA. Their software is super easy to use. It's what you see is what you get. You turn it on, you pick your slow, your fast, your how many lines of resolution you want. You put the mic in the car and you're rocking and rolling. So it really just comes down to you as a user. Both of them will get you to the same place, as that is an RTA. Now keep in mind, there again, the DMRTA is awesome, but if you're also looking at like the or if you're looking at the iTest mic, then there again, it's super easy to use too, because you just plug it into an iPad and you go. But if that was the question, if we were talking about like the iTest mic and the UMI-1, if you have an iPad, just buy the iTest mic. However, you can do a lot more with Andy's piece once you've figured out how to use it. Plus, it comes with the cool CD.
Yeah,
sounds really
that's
good.
Worth it. Yeah.
So, wow, $10,000 in components and a $1,500 vehicle. It's funny you should say that, because we had a gentleman come here from Arizona with a Civic, and we ended up putting 2 sets of the Morel.
Ultimos?
No, they got a better name.
Supremo.
The
Supremo.
The
yes,
Supremo
the Supremo
tweeters.
with the Piccolo.
So the Piccolo tweeters.
Yep.
So we put 2 pairs of Piccolo tweeters in his car. That's $6,000. He had a 3rd set just in case there was something wrong with one of those too. That's $9,000 in tweeters in a Honda Civic.
The tweeter costs more than the car. That's for sure.
So yes, when everyone sits there and they're acting about, oh, that's a lot of money. Okay, that's you.
Yes.
Just keep in mind that's you. There's somebody out there that is willing to pay it, and how crazy you think they are, to them that's the most important thing, and I'm not going to argue with them about it. All right, guys, that takes us to the end of the show. Civic life for sure, man. You know it. Thank you guys so much for playing along with us today. Don't forget, if there is we're going to try that new brand. It seemed to be everyone's kind of on board with that. So if there's a brand that you think of that you're like, it's obscure, whatever, put it in the comments, and we'll write them all down, and then we're going to do the little deep dive into their website, and we're all going to learn, and we'll have a good time. Like I said, we'll probably do it every other week, about 10 minutes. But for those of you that are like, hey man, I want to take my tuning to the next level, or I want to find out, does that rear speaker put out more bass? Does the front speaker put out more bass? I'm going to be summing together, what does that look like? Well, you need channels, you need RTA, you need an electrical RTA, something that you can actually connect power to and see what it's doing. Your eyes are cool, you can see a lot of cool stuff, but you can't see frequencies moving over a wire. If that's something you want to do, then head over to D&F Tool Drawer and you can pick up the iRTA2. For $249, you can pick up a 2-channel RTA. This will take your install game to the next level. being able to, when you want to solve an argument, when someone says, man, that's wrong, you could go, no, bitch, that's right, and here's how this looks. You can easily go out into a car and see what is happening. It's portable, it's easy to use, it's 2 channels. We have videos showing you how to use it. Check them out and make your life better, make your installations make your troubleshooting so much easier. That is for sure. Also, if you're interested in picking up a shirt, that's right, Ada. Not that one, that one. You go to dnfswag.com. DNF Swag is a place where we keep all our cool stuff. Like, yeah, just head over there and you can pick up a cool shirt. And of course, as we said, DNF Tool Drawer. There's more stuff on DNF Tool Drawer other than the RTA. If you'd like to see all the cool tools that we use in our installation, just head over to dnftooldrower.com, and there are links to everything we use: plastics, cameras, air tools, meters and probes. Meters and probes is cool because, like, if you guys are looking for pink noise and stuff like that, it's all on the meters and probe page. If you go down to the bottom, you can download the left of center, center, right of center. You can download all that stuff there. We have it there for you to have. It's free. Go have fun with it. Tune your car. Sounds super sexy. That's it, man.
That's it,
I got
guys.
nothing else. You guys have a great rest of your day. This Saturday we will be doing a show. Friday morning we'll be doing the news. And of course, Thursday night, I'll be with my boy, your boy, it's your boy, Hi-Fi Vega, over on the Hi-Fi Vega network. And of course, after that, we'll be doing Reverse Polarity, Side Jag, both of those shows, Thursday night. It's the Red Panda movie from Disney Plus. Turning Red is the movie we're watching this week.
I love that one.
I haven't seen it yet, so I'm super excited.
Like it.
And there you go. You guys have a great rest of your week. And if you want to find out what we're doing during the week, like what's happening with the Jeep, make sure you tune in to Instagram.
Carlos, we already have it. You go to the Instagram so you can see it.
Yeah. Yeah, we got one. Yep.
Bye, guys.
Bye.